Hello, good morning, and welcome to all of you. This is Rajesh Kumar Singhal, and I am here to present a new lecture on the physiological aspects of pruning and dwarfing. So, friends, this is a very important topic for all the ICR exams, and in this lecture, we will discuss about the different physiological aspects of pruning and dwarfing. Let's start our discussion with the physiological aspects of pruning. So what is pruning? So pruning may be defined as it is the removal of any excess or undesirable branches, shoots, roots, or any other plant parts. So what is pruning? Pruning is defined as it is the removal of any excess और undesirable. मतलब या तो कोई चीज है जो आपका एक्सेस हो चुका है या फिर ऐसे प्लांट पार्ट्स विच वी डोंट वांट, दैट इज अनडिजायरेबल. इट कुड बी ब्रांच, शूट, रूट और एनी अदर प्लांट पार्ट्स, so as to allow the remaining part to grow normally or accordingly to the desire of the pruner. So the motto is the pruning is the development of designer crop or designer tree. So in this process we remove the excess or undesirable branch, shoot, roots or other parts to allow the grow normally the remaining parts or according to our desire, known as pruning. So pruning is the removal of unwanted or undesirable or surplus or excess एनुअल ग्रोथ मीन्स जो आपका कोई भी प्लांट ऑर्गन है उसमें एनुअल ग्रोथ हुआ है तो एक्सेस हो चुका है या सरप्लस हो चुका है, दैट वन. एंड डेड जो आपके लीफ है, रूट है या ब्रांचेस है विच आर डेड और डिजीज्ड और ड्राइड or broken branch of the plant. So in the process of pruning, we remove the unwanted, surplus, annual, dead, diseased, dried and broken branch of the plant. So pruning is an art of removing scientifically certain portion of a plant. Means pruning is a both art and science. Means the pruning methods are the art and the effects are scientifically. Okay, so scientifically certain portion of a plant with a view to producing more and superior quality of fruits. So our motto is the to producing more and superior quality of fruits. If the diseased or dried branches removed earlier, it help in conservation of food in the tree for better production. So what happens when there is a number of diseased branches, then they also take the photo assimilates and that is not useful. So it is wastage our plant resources. So if we will remove the disease or dried branches timely, it helps in the conservation of food in the tree for better production. Also the pruning check the spread of disease. You know that disease can be spread from one infected part to another healthy plant part. So by the pruning process we check or limit the spread of the disease. Next, to remove the surplus branches and direct the sap flow in the remaining branch. तो जो आपका फोटो एसिमुलेशन है उसको क्या करना है, जो आपका सरप्लस ब्रांचेस है अगर उनको इफ यू विल रिमूव द सरप्लस ब्रांचेस तो आपका सैप फ्लो विल बी मूव टुवर्ड द योर मेन ब्रांचेस. So our motto is that to the transfer of sap only in the main branches. Next, to develop a strong framework which can carry the load of good crop and can withstand strong wind. So what happened? So the main motto, the one of the motto of this pruning process is the preparation of a strong framework, and which can carry the load of a good crop and can withstand a strong wind. You know that if a tree plants, if it has more number of branches, then during the fruiting process there will be an increase in the load of the plant. So may be possible that some branch can be broken, but by the pruning process we will remove the excess or surplus branches, then the fruiting is controlled, and also we can increase the quality of fruit, and also the load capacity of the tree also increased. So this is also one of the motto. Next, thin out branches so as to admire more light into the interior of tree top, so that the inner branches also become fruit. So what happen if this is a tree plant? This is a tree plant. If we will thin some portion, then the sunlight can penetrate. Sunlight can penetrate in the interior of this top, and also the inner branches also become fruitful. So this is also one of the motto of pruning process. To regulate the spacing and distribution and direction of branches. So this is also what happen if there are surplus growth, then it needs the more space like this. If we will remove the some thin out the crops, then there will be a better spacing which improve the aeration and distribution direction of the branches. Next, to distribute the fruiting wood in all the directions and to maintain a balance between the vegetative and reproductive phase. So what happen? By the pruning, we can maintain the direction in the all the growth, all the direction, not on a single direction. Also, it improves the balance between the vegetative and reproductive phases. Means there will be a equal balance between these two phases. So the plant age and fruiting can be increased by the years. Next, to improve the growth of spur shoot. What is spur shoot? Spur shoot is the short branches which bear the fruit and fruit or flowers. So to improve the growth of the spur shoot and production of more floral bud. So this is also one of the motto of pruning process. Next, to maintain the vigor of the plant by the removing the water shoots. What is water shoot? These are the dormant shoot. So if we will remove the dormant shoot, the plant tree vigor will be increased, and also remove other unwanted growths. Also dwarfing response, so thinning out of tree also gives some dwarfing response. And what is the advantage of this dwarfing? We will discuss in the next slides. And summer pruning involve the selective removal of leafy shoots during the growth season, which reduces within tree sets and usually improve fruit red color development and sometimes improve flower bud development. So what happened? The most prominently pruning type is summer pruning, which involve the selective removal of the leafy shoot during the growth season, which reduces the tree set within the tree. Means they optimize the your leaf area index. So the leaf area index is optimized. So reduce the tree shade within tree only, and it's improve the flower bud and the fruit color development or fruit quality. Also the time and severity of pruning affects flower initiation and rejuvenation shoot regrowth in sweet orange. So the time that you are using summer pruning or monsoon pruning or any pruning, this is, and the severity means low pruning or high pruning affect the flower initiation and rejuvenation in the sweet orange. Then in crop like grapes, the pruning time may be altered to avoid the onset of flowering during the period of rainy season crop and may to all together avoided by the hard pruning. So what happen if a tree flower in the rainy season, then there will be a possibility that due to high wind and rainfall, they increase the flower drop. So to avoid this flower and fruit drop during rainy season, we can go for hard pruning, which delay the your fruiting and flowering process. Then heavy nitrogenous manuring at the time of flower bud initiation often reduce flowering by promoting vegetative differentiation. And the root pruning and restriction irrigation may helpful in reducing vegetative vigor and inducing formation of flowers. So what happens if we will give the heavy nitrogen during the time of flower bud initiation or just pre-reproductive phase? It reduces the flowering by promoting the vegetative growth. So in this case, if we will go for root pruning and restriction irrigation, it reduces the vegetative vigor but induce the reproductive growth. Next, overbearing in the previous season exhaust the tree. मीन्स क्या होता है कि आपका जो ट्री है उसमें अगर एक साल आपने ओवर बियरिंग ले लिया, देन व्हाट हैपन, जो आपके फ्रूट्स है मीन्स देयर आर नंबर ऑफ फ्रूट्स यू गॉट गुड यील्ड, व्हाट हैपन, इट एग्जॉस्ट द photo assimilates of the plant. तो इससे क्या होगा, जो आपका नेक्स्ट सीजन होगा उसके लिए जो रिसोर्सेस होंगे वो आपके कम पड़ जाएंगे. तो फिर क्या होगा कि इट रिड्यूसेस द सब्सिक्वेंट फ्लोरिंग इन मैंगो एंड अदर बायनियल बियरिंग ट्रीज. If we will take the overbearing in the one season, then it exhausts the tree, photoassimilates and reduce subsequent flowering in the trees. In this case, pruning with a complete manuring improve the growth plus and flowering. So we need pruning every year and manuring. So it promote the flowering and plus fruit plus every year. Then lack of sufficient reserve of carbohydrates in shoot may cause sparse flowering and poor sets. So you know that this is the plant and this is the flower. So you need and leaf act as a source tissue, and your flower and fruit work as a sink tissue. So there is a relation between the source and sink tissue. So if there will be a less number of source, why less number of source? Because of overbearing. Then it also affect your sink tissue. So maybe possible that your flowering and fruit setting will be less. Then removal of apical buds increase the yield in tree crop by formation of adventitious shoot. So this is a tree plant. This is a tree plant. So what happens if you will remove the apical bud? And you know that apical bud form the oxygen. So when you will remove the oxygen, there will be an increase in the cytokinin, and it improve the your adventitious shoot, means more number of leaf, so more number of tea production. So removal of apical bud can increase the yield of tea crop by formation of adventitious shoots. Also pruning improve the carbon partitioning in the apple. Also the pruning improve the fruit quality, size in sweet cherry, tomato, apples, and flower yield and quality. So these are the impacts. And what are the methods? There are 4 important methods of pruning. So first one is the thinning out. What is the meaning of thinning out? This is the selective pruning. So in which we reduce the density of branches. Means we cut the some branches. So which reduce the density of branches and also increase the sunlight penetration. Means this is just removal of extra your leaf branches. So this is called thinning out. And there are 2 types of thinning. Means there is low thinning and heavy thinning. So low thinning we can do any times, but heavy thinning we can use only in the summer season and like that only. Then second is the topiary. So this is the example of topiary. So in this we reduce the reduction of tree size by cutting the short branches. Means आपका जो side branches है, जो extra branches है, which could be removed, and the large branches remain there. Then third one is the copy seam. So what is copy seam? In this we remove the plant to the ground level, and this is used for the rejuvenation of the tree. Okay, then directional pruning means, this is the example, means if there is a wall is there and your tree is there, so what you will do, you will prune this side, so next time plant grow by this side only. So this is called as a directional pruning. So these are the methods of pruning. This is topiary, this is normal thinning out, and this is your coppicing, and this is your directional pruning, means in what direction you want to prune. This is natural pruning. Now come to the physiological aspects of dwarfing. So what is dwarfing? So dwarfing is a process in which cultivars of a plant is changed to become significantly smaller than their species. So dwarfing is a process in which the cultivars of same species become smaller. मीन्स आपका जो प्लांट साइज है, जैसे दिस इज द प्लांट साइज एंड बाय ड्वार्फिंग वी आर प्रोड्यूसिंग दिस इज ड्वार्फिंग. Okay, so dwarfing tree in horticulture, dwarfing can be considered as a desirable characteristics in modern orchard. So this is a dwarfing is a desirable characteristic in the tree crops, and it can be attained through the selective breeding and genetic engineering, and also more often related to grafting by using the dwarfing rootstocks. So there are mainly three methods, means you can go for selective breeding, or you can go for transgenics or genetic engineering, or you can go by the grafting, means you are using the dwarf rootstock. And almost all the modern apples in use as a commercial use are propagated as a dwarf or semi-dwarf. What is the purpose of this? Easy of picking the fruits and the easiness in the spraying process. So this is the aspects. Next, this dwarfing tree acts through a reduction in the nutrients which travel from root through the trunk to the leaves and buds. So as you know that this is a soil and these are the nutrients. So the nutrients are available in the soil solution form, and this is your root system, and this is your shoot, and this is your flower bud. You know that nutrients are absorbed by the root and translocated into the xylem, reach to the your shoot tissue, and reach to the your leaf or target tissue. And if a plant have very high in height, then the distance for the traveling is also high. Also, you know that this mineral nutrient transport is a active process. So there will be a use of ATP as a energy source to channelize the nutrient pump, ion channels, and others. So dwarfing reduce this traveling time, so it can improve your nitrogen efficiencies or nutrient efficiencies. तो आपका क्या हुआ, जैसे आपको पता है कि जो आपके सॉइल सॉल्यूशन में न्यूट्रिएंट्स है, दे एब्जॉर्ब बाय द रूट एंड मूवमेंट इन रूट through xylem and reach the your shoot portion and your leaf and your target tissue. So distance travel, and you know that traveling this, there are certain ion channels pumps are involved, and they are actively regulated. Actively means by the spends of some energy in the form of ATP. So if a plant having more height, then there will be a more ATP needed to transport these ions. If by the dwarfing process we reduce the plant height, then there will be increase in the efficiency of nutrients. Dwarfing in plants are caused by the blockage of the GA biosynthesis pathway. तो as you know that GA का आपका function क्या है? It increase the your plant height. So if you will reduce the synthesis of gibberellin, there will be a dwarfing, and many genes like rice, DGW gene, DGWG, wheat, RST1 and 2, rye DW1, introduced by breeding and transgenic approach, and these lines showing the dwarfing nature. And you know that the green revolution in India or world is mostly successful by the introduction of dwarf or semi-dwarf varieties. Okay, so this is also one of the major achievements of this dwarfing, that the green revolution. In the green revolution, one of the main cause is the use of short dwarf or semi-dwarf varieties. And in the olive rootstock, dwarfing induced and reduced the hydraulic efficiency, means your water transport efficiency, and shorter stem require less energy from photosynthesis to grow, meaning the plant devoted more energy to the growing to the grains. So what happened if a plant using less energy to production of shoot portion, then the more energy can be devoted to your reproductive portion. Means अगर हम वेजिटेटिव ग्रोथ के लिए कम एनर्जी यूज कर रहे हैं, then the remaining energy can be used for the reproductive portions. In dwarf apple, reduce the distance of nutrient to travel from root to leaf and buds. And one also important aspects of this dwarfing is the prevent lodging. So when the stalk or whole plants bend because there is a too much load on the stem or root to hold up. So what happen generally in the flood condition or heavy wearing plant bend, because the plant height is very lengthy, and as increase in plant, branches are big, but a short suture plant have less branch but they are strong, so they can bear your heavy fruiting. So this short height prevent the lodging. Even they also tolerant to certain abiotic stresses. Also, this is used in high density planting like papaya, mango, sapota. Dwarfing in modern agriculture, dwarfing used as a high density planting. Less competition for water, nutrient, fertilizer, and photosynthesis and light. So it also reduces the competition for the resources. If there is less competition for resources, means they are increasing the efficiency. And then tolerance to abiotic stresses such as drought, flood, and any other abiotic stresses. Also, the fruiting starts sooner because there will be a more assimilation, more absorption of light. Also, it increases the harvesting index because we are reducing vegetative growth and increase the reproductive growth or economical yield. So it increases the harvesting yield. And the bonsai technology used for the improving flavor, fruits and flower quality. Also, bonsai techniques means shortening of this trees used for improving flavor, fruits, and flower quality. So, friends, this is about the physiological aspect of pruning and dwarfing, that how the physiological process are affected during this process. I hope you understand the concept of why the horticulturists studied about the pruning and dwarfing. Thank you very much.